They chillin' in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, vultures out in Beamer, they Kira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, howlin' down in Big D, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee pride is deep, they lunchin' in Vancouver, Desperado shootin', the renegades on the loose, the hyenas lootin', gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the Furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Gang, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the ruckus. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. Third down is going down. Round the pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat, if I catch it, then I'm out. Fourth and inches by the tape. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The outer blow to draw them off sides.
Ryan Michaels gets a block midfield. Ryan Michaels, he could be gone. Trying to make comfortable behind, he will not. Touchdown, Houston.
Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party.
Jay Yola shakes it. Oh my goodness, and Yola gets away. Jay Yola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Left side, Odom gets away. Odom breaks another tackle. That's Odom, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase, 10-1 touchdown. Oh my word.
It's the end of Week 11. 2 more games remain on the slate Monday night, and this contest here live from Tallahassee, Florida. It's the Lions' Den. It's Tallahassee and Tulsa. The Desperados are on the edge of the playoffs, about to fall off the cliff. They need a win tonight desperately, and to do it, they're going to have to topple the Tallahassee Pride. And in order to do that, they're going to have to enter the Lions' Den and get it done and be the first team to beat the Tallahassee Pride in the regular season this year. And it starts right now. Andy Hamilton along with Ramos Lynn in the booth. We're here in Tallahassee, Florida. It's a beautiful night at the Lions' Den. Ramos, these Tallahassee Pride have not lost a game in quite a bit.
In quite a bit indeed. It's been almost 400 natural days from the last time this Pride team lost in the regular season, which is insane. And they have to face a Desperados team that, no pun intended, is pretty desperate for a win. They have to win this game. As far as Tallahassee goes, they have to, or they want to, go nose-to-nose with the Alaska Storm for SFL supremacy here in the regular season.
Well, it all is going to come down to who gets into the playoffs. Tallahassee's spot is punched. Their tickets are booked to the playoffs. The only question is, who will they be playing and when will they be playing and what seed will they start with? For Tulsa, it's a whole different conversation, and their playoffs start tonight against Tallahassee. If they lose, they are out of this playoff race, and that is the most important thing for them, is to get a W tonight.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, it's a Tallahassee team that is super strong, but I think this game will be closer than people might think, just because Tulsa needs this win. So let's see what happens.
Well, they'll start with the ball, and the kick is underway. We're underway on Sunday Night Football, the SFL Network on Twitch. Tulsa wearing the black helmets, black pants, white uniforms with the red trim on the shoulders. Tallahassee, on the other hand, wearing the purple uniforms, purple pants, and the purple dome pieces as well. Well, it's Matthew Martin and the offense for Tulsa that'll be out first. And what do you think the key is for this Tulsa offense?
I think it's Sonson Robinson. We spoke about it previous to this game. I think it's going to be Sonson Robinson. He needs to get going, and Tulsa needs to lead time of possession.
Well, on first down, they will start with a throw. Martin will dump it off to the left-hand side. He was going for Andre Godspeed, and he was defended well by Michael Sprouse.
Yeah, very strong opening play by the Tallahassee defense. They tried to surprise Tulsa did with a long throw, and it was man-to-man coverage, and the corner Sprouse was ready for it. You know, if the wide receiver makes that catch, probably it's about a 30 to 40-yard gain.
Ron Cochran with 400 bits in the chat. PB and Jotter with another 100. We'll keep an eye on the chat for the bits totals for the entire night. So that'll be fun to keep track of. Handoff to Robinson, 2nd and 10. He's off the left side. Sanzo Robinson across the 50, and he's finally brought down by Alex Bond, and that's just what you talked about, Ramos. Tulsa needs big plays in the running game.
I really like this concept here for Tulsa. There's nobody on the far side as far as a wide receiver goes, so Tallahassee is kind of undermanned on the left-hand side. 2 great blocks on the outside, and there's number 67 who cannot pick another block, but you know, it's a great concept that Tulsa did, going to the far side of the long side of the football field, and a great play to get a first down in Tallahassee territory.
New set of downs, pressure for Martin. He fires. Oh, and it's dropped. He had the man across the middle, and he could not haul it in. An unfortunate play, but the pass was going to Marcel Miller, and Miller could not hang on.
Yeah, very unfortunate play, and that's a play that you have to make as a wide receiver. You know, he was wide open, and he couldn't make it.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Tallahassee 48. Tulsa is on the Pride side of the field. Let's see if they can continue this drive. 3 receivers spread out, 4 down for Tallahassee, that big star front of the Pride. Martin will drop to throw, delivers across the middle. That's a nice throw and catch, hauled in by Corey Jones, the receiver who's been playing in Tulsa since the team's inception.
That's a great play recognition right there by the Tulsa quarterback. You know, the blitz was coming, and he just threw the ball right where the linebackers were supposed to be.
Now a heavy formation. This could be an interesting play here. 4-3 look out of the Pride. They're backed way off the receiver. Handoff Robinson. Robinson gets past the first wave and picks up 3.
You know, and Tulsa kind of put in, you know, all types of formations. You know, 2 wide receivers, put in like 3 wide receivers. Now in a heavy set, trying to, you know, spread, you know, from passes to runs, pass runs, and that's something I like. You know, that balance will be very important for Tulsa.
Let us know how we're sounding in the chat. No one complained, so I think we're probably doing pretty well, but if anyone has complaints, please file them. Martin out route, and that is hauled in and out of bounds, and to Andre Godspeed, but I don't think that Tulsa has gone backwards or not gained yardage on a single play besides the incompletion.
Yeah, besides the incompletion, it's been a very solid drive by Tulsa, and, you know, the quarterback getting a little bit of time to throw the ball. You know, he got hit on one of the plays, but, you know, for the most part, it's been a good job by the offensive line of Tulsa.
3 receivers spread out. A Tier 1 sub from Sevilla, 47. Handoff Robinson. A little nifty move in the hole, but he is dragged down 3 yards shy of the line to gain. So from the 21, the Tulsa drive stalls out, and I think it's field goal time.
Yeah, it is field goal time, and I think that, you know, if you're Tulsa, if you make this field goal, you can be pretty content of your first drive. going on the road, I think you could be pretty content that you were able to throw the ball successfully. Sansa Robinson showed the speed going into the outside to the left-hand side, and the offensive line, again, played really good in this first drive.
8:37, so a long drive. The snap was a bit low. The kick is up, and it is no good. He pushed it right.
Wow. Man, and this is just a huge downer here for the Tulsa Desperados, who, I mean, man, he just hooked it left. I mean, sorry, right. You know, and that's tough. You know, when you're in the left hash and you just shank it completely to the right, it's just a bad look.
Yeah, and it wasn't essentially a far field goal. You know, it wasn't a walk in the park, but it wasn't rocket science either, and it sets up Tallahassee now at the 28 with pretty positive field position from their side. So Christensen will drop to throw on first down, and Gossett will make the catch for 4 to the 32.
And it's going to be tough here for the Tulsa Desperados defense. I mean, it's to any defense is tough. That's why Tallahassee has not lost the regular season game in, like, what seems to be like 20 years. But,
right.
You know, it's just Ken Gossett, and it's just the quarterback, just Christian Christensen, making everybody better.
Well, and you talked about how long it's been since Tallahassee has lost a game. The last game they lost was to Queen City in Season 9. And Ramos, this will be a little fact. We didn't go over this, but the last time they lost a game here at the Lions Den, as Jay Eniola is across midfield to the 47. The last time Tallahassee lost a game here in the Lions Den was to the Orlando Intimidators in Season 7.
Wow, I mean that's the stat of the day. I was not expecting that, honestly.
It doesn't get much better than that, Ramos. The team they actually played the week before that loss was the Santa Fe Gorillas, and that I know you have a special tie to them. You defeated them on the road, but that was the last time the Pride have lost here at home. And Geniola, he's out, he's loose across the 40, across the 10, and he is in. Tallahassee strikes first, 6-0.
I saw it from a mile away because the offensive line, okay, I want to have a poster of the offensive line, just completely just manhandling everybody. Look at that.
Oh, my God.
And obviously, Jay Eniola breaks 2 tackles and takes it all away. But wow, what an incredible play.
Yeah, that was something. I think we need to call him Jay the Tank Engine from now on because he was just blowing people over. That was something. I'm in awe of how many people got ran over on that play.
I mean, and that's why, you know, Tallahassee, again, has not lost a game here in the Lions Den in forever and a half. You say Season 7. Season 7 will be 2 years. Like, literally 2 years.
Well, and that was before progression. I don't even know if user players were mandated then. I think it was optional, but wasn't a rule.
It was optional. Back in Season 7, at least my team had a couple of them that were non-users. I had, you know, Juan Bosco. I had Nick Tickwick. You know, like, It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so Tallahassee, very good in this building, very good in the regular season in general. So now they are here at home again and now are up 7-0. The scoreboard will reflect that in a moment. 7-0 over the Tulsa Desperados in a winner-go-home battle for Tulsa. Kick is away. Return will come out across the 25, across the 30. Charles Ball down the left-hand side to the 33. What a return from him. That should inspire the Desperados even a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think that when you have a good return, I mean, again, you know, the Tulsa offense cannot be discouraged. Obviously, yeah, I mean, they missed the field goal, but they were able to move the ball down the field. Pretty solid. So I think that if you're Tulsa, I think you run it to the left here. Look, there's just one player on the outside on the left.
They do just that, and Tallahassee closes on it quickly. Robinson, though, averaging some good numbers. You'd like to see them stick with that motto.
Definitely. I mean, it's been a lot of that on that huge run that he had, and what a job by the linebacker stopping Sansa Robinson in the open field. If Sansa Robinson is able to elude that tackler, it's basically just a corner or a safety going there. So I would like to see them going deep on this play.
Instead, they'll give to Robinson on the right side. Robinson with some room. A spin move. He's got the first down to the 43, and we talked about Ramos. The one thing Tulsa can't do is get down in this game because the key will be Robinson, and if they do end up down by a lot of points, it's hard to implement a strong rushing offense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, balance is just so important for a football team, at least in my estimation. If you can pass the ball solid, you can pass the ball solid. But if you have that balance, I think it just makes your football team that much better.
First and 10 from the 43. They will check it down to Robinson, the former receiver on the right-hand side. He's got plenty of room. No one within 10 yards of him, and he's out to the 41.
That's a great design play by Tulsa, and I think that the ball was thrown just a little bit late. Yeah, I mean, he had to stop and basically, regather his momentum. But, it's still a very good concept play where there was nobody for Tallahassee, like maybe 20 yards away from him.
And Taekwon Hale makes a good point in the chat. Robinson, a unique running back in that he was a running back turned receiver turned running back again. He was around in at least season 8 or 9 on the old Baltimore Crabs. So definitely one of those players that can catch the ball effectively. They will hand to him up the middle, and he will pick up 2 to the 39.
And not only that, I remember a few seasons ago when he was the running back for the Baltimore Crabs back in the day. If I remember correctly, Sonso Robinson averaged like 20 catches per game. It was something crazy. Like that was like 18 or 20 catches a game. He was getting the ball just a lot in the passing attack, and he was the motor of that offense.
Now they'll spread him out 4 wide. Martin to throw under a little pressure. Fires, got a wide open man down the field, and it's hauled in. What a catch by the open receiver. I believe that's Andre Godspeed to the 12.
It is Andre Godspeed, and that's a great pocket by Michael Martin. Look at that. He has all day to throw and just throws it over the head of the safety for, look at that. That's a great shot.
Yeah, right on a dime. Well, and I think if he would have thrown it a little bit lower and made it through the defender's arms, it would have been a touchdown because Godspeed had beat the defense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that ball was just a little bit probably overthrown. It was a great catch, but if that ball is in stride and perfectly placed, that's a touchdown.
Well, they got a new set of downs, and they can get a first down without getting in the end zone. Martin, though, under pressure, will fire on the corner route. It's caught. Oh, and they got the first down without getting in the end zone. Corey Jones couldn't quite extend the ball for the pylon, but still does a good job of keeping the feet in bounds.
That's probably even a more impressive play by Martin on that one because he had to kind of step up out of the pressure, and he had to throw that ball accurately with a lot of touch. It was not like a bullet. It was with a lot of touch. And it was a great play to get a first down.
Now a heavy formation, and Tallahassee doesn't quite look ready for it. They give to Robinson, and he walks in. Sonso Robinson scores. Tulsa is now an extra point away from tying this one up at the Lions' Den.
And that's actually the backup, Washington. Sonso Robinson getting a breather, and King Jack Washington just on touch into the end zone. That's a good call. I mean, by the Tulsa team, I would just give your running back a breather and some fresh legs, punch it in. It worked. And
when you have a non-contract like King Jack Washington, sometimes that's not a bad move. As the hashtag contract for King Jack Washington chats come out, he's a fan favorite.
He definitely is. He's probably the second best non-contracted running back that we have in the league after Raking Ball. But yeah, I mean, it's important when you have a non-contracted player that can come in and just put the points on the board. It's just so huge. And going back to it, I mean, Tulsa, 2 offensive drives, and they have moved the ball pretty much at will, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely. And if it weren't for the missed field goal, they would be up by 3 here as opposed to sitting at 7 all. They give the ball back to Tallahassee, and the Pride will start their drive at the 30-yard line. Well, for the Tulsa defense, there was only one man who really put them to bed, and it was Jaye, excuse me. So the question now will be, how do you stop him on this drive?
And It's not easy. I mean, that guy, he can break 2 or 3 tackles like it's nothing. You really have to swarm into him.
Well, and that'll partly be Espen Royale's role. They will give to Eniola, and he gets crushed there. That was the safety, Kanye Rockefeller, coming up. Another longtime SFL player doing his part now on a newer team. What a hit from him.
Yeah, Kanye Rockefeller, probably one of the leaders. I will have to check here right quick, but probably one of the leaders all time in tackles. He's been hit for a minute.
Yeah, definitely. Moved from cornerback to safety in the offseason and has been playing well for this Tulsa team. Handoff Eniola again. That time he's dropped in the backfield, and Tulsa looks like whatever Deion Hawkins said to them on the sideline has worked so far.
Definitely, and this is the opportunity in 3rd and 4 to contain Ken Gossett. I think that Christian Christensen will like to throw the ball on this one. So, you know, it's about Red Sawyer putting in some pressure and about the corners just to hold their coverage.
3-3 look, a lot of room on the top. They'll give to Eniola, and he misdirects and gets the first down, finally brought down there by number 24, Kyler Murray at the 45.
And they surprised me on that one. I thought they were going to throw the ball because he was 3rd down and 4, and the previous run was not successful, but they just trusted Eniola on that one, and he breaks one more tackle. You know, what's the over-under for breaking tackles? I would say 25.
Yeah, well, he might be past 25 already.
Probably.
I don't know. I think Tallahassee has thrown, what, once? I don't think they've thrown more than that. Every other play has been a run.
Yeah, maybe twice. I'm not sure.
Hand off Eniola again, and he will pick up 3 there. But when he's running like that, there's no need to go with any other option in all reality, because he's picking up large chunks of yards.
Yeah, I agree with you. You don't want to throw the ball into to those safeties. I mean, you don't want to throw the ball to Charles Ball and those guys get it intercepted, and they will do it right now. I mean, they have an empty set here.
Well, don't speak too soon. Christensen has been known to take off sometimes. 5 receivers split out. He's going to toss it down the field, and Ken Gossett hauls it into the 28. Perfectly scripted, perfectly executed.
Wow, I mean, there's just so many pieces of this Tallahassee offense, and especially it begins with the offensive line. When you have a good offensive line, it's hard to be bad offensively. I think, if your quarterback has time, he's gonna find an open receiver. If the offensive line makes their blocks, the running back will have the lane. So it all starts with the offensive line, and Tallahassee is playing lights out today.
2 receivers split out now, running back and fullback in the backfield. They give to Eniola off the right-hand side. He stood up and dropped by Rhett Sawyer, who has made a few tackles today.
He really has, and it's probably, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the first negative yardage play of Tallahassee so far?
I believe so. I
mean, everything is gone for at least 3 yards or more.
And this game looks like it could come down to which defense can make a stop. 2nd and 11, delayed handoff Eniola. He gets some yards after that, and Tulsa finally swarms to the ball. It'll be 3rd and 5, and this is probably the longest 3rd down attempt Tallahassee has faced all night.
And they trust this offensive line so much, they did a draw play. It's not often that we see a draw play here in the SFL, and they did it this time, and Eniola just had all field to run. And it was able to get almost what it seemed the first down.
3 spread out, and Tulsa looks like they're not even going to challenge. But Christensen will get hit as he dumps it off. The offsides penalty, though, should give them the first down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Ramos, in talking about this Tallahassee team, we compared them a lot to Alaska. The two will not face each other in the regular season. However, at some point, they could face off again in the postseason after last season's championship. So I guess the question is, Tulsa just faced the Alaska offense a few weeks ago and had trouble with the 2 wide receivers and the great quarterback in Ron Cochran. But really here, it's Eniola in the running game that's defeating them from this undefeated team.
Yeah, I agree with you. It seems that, Tallahassee's kind of offensively at least kind of leaning towards a Mexico City Season 9 type of type of, how can I say it, philosophy, where it's basically give the ball to your running back, give the ball to your running back, and if you're gonna throw the ball, you still have a Hall of Fame quarterback, you have a couple of incredible receivers, and a good offensive line.
You just had to bring up Season 9 Mexico City, didn't you, Ramos? We're going to make it through the whole broadcast. They'll give to Eniola up the middle on 2nd and 6, and he picks up another 2 yards to the 12. So another third down chance for Tulsa, and I think that's the biggest issue is that Tallahassee has been spreading them out and then running the ball, and on these questionable downs when they could throw, it's hard to defend both the pass and the run.
It truly is, but now it seems that Yaya and Yola is getting just a little bit gassed. It didn't seem as powerful as the previous plays.
They will throw. Hit as he threw, lofts it. Oh, and it's just out of the reach of Grayson Willis. He almost was able to haul it in, but Tulsa gets a stop. It'll be 4th and 4.
Yeah, the pressure was the one who forced that errant throw, because if there was no pressure, the wide receiver was wide open. It was Willis on the outside, and probably he gets the catch, turns the corner, and gets into the end zone. So a huge play by the defensive line and the pass rush of the Tulsa Desperados, forcing a field goal.
And a very big play considering that their offense has had a scoring attempt on both drives. So if they can hold Tallahassee to 3, they might be able to take the lead on their next drive. 18 seconds to go here in the first quarter of play. Tallahassee a low snap. It's almost blocked. The kick gets up and through from 28 yards. Tallahassee pushes themselves 10-7 into the lead.
Getting into the lead, and now it's time for the Tallahassee defense to step up. Tulsa, as I've been saying, they only have 7 points, but it's been 2 drives where the offense has been on point. They have been, moving the ball consistently past midfield, getting 1 touchdown. So, I'm liking what I'm seeing for the Tulsa Desperados' game plan.
Well, we talked about it. It's a win and you're alive playoff game for Tulsa, lose and you're out for Tallahassee. If they win, they do secure the 2nd spot. Charles Ball gets out to the 30. The ever dangerous return man makes Tallahassee sweat a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ball right now at the 30-yard line, and good. So that's good field position. Now it's gonna be time. I think they have to run the ball, take it to the second quarter, and try to give Sancho Robinson more reps to get more comfortable.
3 in the backfield, the 2 fullbacks. They'll give to Robinson up the middle, and the man blitzing from the outside makes the tackle. Matthew Sprouse was on the cornerback blitz. That'll take us to the end of the first. 10-7 Tallahassee over the Desperados, but Tulsa has the ball back with a chance to take the lead. So it's 2nd and 6. We'll flip ends of the field. Tulsa now going from right to left across your TV screen or computer screen, whatever that may be. However you are watching today's broadcast, maybe your phone. Martin fires left side, caught, and they'll be 2 yards shy of the line to gain. It'll bring up 3rd manageable.
A play that I like because you make it a 3rd and saying so. The playbook really opens up. You can give the ball to Sancho Robinson because it's only 2 yards, and he's been able to get about consistently 3-4 yards per pop. So I think you could probably throw even to the left here. There's nobody on the left.
2 backs, they give to Robinson, stood up and dropped. Tallahassee's defense makes a stand, and that's one that you thought was going outside of the tackle, and instead they run between the guard and the center, and it just gets stuffed.
I agree. I thought they were gonna maybe even pull a lineman to the left for extra blocking, and Sancho Robinson just turned it to inside and got stuck. So a huge stop here for Tallahassee, getting the very first full stop of the game.
Punt is away. Tallahassee will take the return out to the 25. Let's take a look at the playoff picture after today's contest, Ramos. Alaska and Tallahassee obviously still at the top without losing a game. Houston today jumped into the automatic qualifier spot in the number 5 seed at 6-4. In the wild card spots, it's still Chicago, Sioux Falls, Las Vegas, and Queen City And a lot of 6-loss teams have lost today. Vancouver, the only one who has successfully won. Tulsa trying to be the second team, but now they're out on defense down by 3. Aniola off the left-hand side will pick up 3. If the Desperados want to get a win today, they got to get some defensive stops. They did a good job on the last drive. What do you think, Ramos, they need to do here in order to keep Jaye Aniola from running all over them?
Well, I think that the very first play, in first down is going to be super important. Whether they give the ball to Jaye Aniola, they have to behind the line of scrimmage, or they have to get a sack on first down. That gives the ball hawking defense probably a chance to get a turnover.
Christensen to throw, a little bit of pressure, he fires, it's almost picked off. Oh, they were trying to bring it off of the ground. Nate Heslop had a chance at it, but couldn't quite get the hands underneath it.
That's just such a missed opportunity for both teams right there. The fullback cannot get the catch, and there's about 3 Desperados players who just play hot potato and they just cannot catch the ball.
Yeah, and that would have been a takeaway deep in Tallahassee territory that would have been very favorable for the Desperados. Instead, it's 3rd and 7, still a chance to get off the field for this defense. 3 receivers split out, 6 men in the box for Tulsa. Tallahassee will throw. Christensen fires across the middle, and it's caught right in front of the referee. They kind of ran the little referee screen, and Ken Gossett was able to break away from Espen Rael and make the grab.
That's a great route by Ken Gossett. Thank you for the production of, spotting that route. That's a perfect cut. Going to the inside, finding the open space in the zone, and getting the catch.
And that poor referee didn't see it coming whatsoever, and you'd have to imagine, with all the work they've done in this league, they know when the receiver's coming right at them.
Yeah, I think they need some protection, maybe a shoulder pads, a helmet or something.
99 yards for Aniola. They will throw again. Christensen, good protection, and he fires that right into the hand of the defender, and another missed opportunity for Tulsa. You'd like to see him get 2 hands up there.
I agree with you. It's still a deflection, so it's basically down what I'm saying. It's not a loss of yardage that Tulsa is forcing, but at least they prevented positive yardage on the play. So now it's the opportunity for them to, here in 2nd down, force a 3rd and long and try to get off the field.
Twins look 2 in the backfield on 2nd and 10 from the Tallahassee 42. They give to Aniola up the gut. Aniola pushes down 1, but I think that gang tackling for Tulsa is starting to work. At first, there was really just no one who could take down Aniola. Now it's kind of, if we can get 3 or 4 people to the ball, at least 2 of us can bring him down.
Yeah, I agree. And now it's a 3rd and 6. So here's where Tallahassee is just so successful on doing is, when it's 3rd and 6, like from 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 8, it's passing situations, but they just find the plays. They have a lot of plays for 10-yard gains.
Christensen, corner route, taken away. Tulsa has the ball back. It's picked off down the right-hand side. Kyler Murray has the ball for the Desperados, and the crowd goes silent here at the Lions' Den.
And Kyler Murray kind of knew that was going because he did not bid on the double move by Ken Goss. There's the double move, it seemed. And well, it's not even a double move. It was just completely underthrown, and I'm not sure if Ken Gossett ran the wrong route or Christensen's ball just slipped out of his hands or something, but it
might have been underthrown.
Yeah, it was just a very poor throw, and Kyler Murray just on the spot to make the interception.
And after this play, I'll get into a little bit about the defense and something that piqued my eye just there after that play. Robinson will pick up 3. The Kyler Murray, a gold cornerback now, Ramos. When I was looking at how Alaska was going to face up against Tulsa, I said that the 2 receivers for Alaska were going to outplay the bronze cornerbacks for Tulsa. Well, now those bronze cornerbacks are gold, and I think that makes a lot of difference against these 2 Tallahassee receivers. As we saw right there, Kyler Murray was able to extend and make that play.
And that's the beauty of player progression, is the fact that the players get better. And you see, like, all season long how these players start playing better, just like in real life. It's just like in any other league, is where especially for rookies, they kind of start and they're kind of start slow, and by the end of the season, they just get better with coaching and just experience.
Now a 3rd and 1. The Pride, 4-3 look out of them, showing blitz off the right side of the line. They will run that way, and he is stood up and dropped. Kevin Bain was all over that one, and Sanzo Robinson could not get out of the darkness. Bain takes him down.
Wow, the quickness by Bain to get in the backfield to make the stop, because I think that, I have to think that the offensive lineman, one of the offensive linemen, maybe the guard, just completely got outran by the defensive end or something, because he went completely untouched in the zone blocking system.
Punt for Tallahassee, or excuse me, well, yeah, for Tallahassee to recover. The Pride bring it out to the 19. These two teams with T's are running me all over the place, but the Pride are the ones with the 10-7 lead.
You know, and if you're the Tallahassee Pride, you have 6 minutes left, so, you know, you still have kind of a long field ahead of you. You're at your own 19, so I think you want to run the ball and slow the pace just a little bit. You have the lead, and you could potentially take this about 3-4 minutes on a drive.
They will throw. Christensen down the seam. Grayson Willis. It seemed like there was nothing but white jerseys around him, and he somehow hauls that football in. Christensen seems to have no fear after throwing a pick.
I agree, man. That's about 3 different Tulsa defenders playing in the zone, and again, you know, Grayson Willis gets in between the zone, and Christensen throws a perfect ball. Other than one interception, we have not seen Christensen throw a bad pass.
No, not really. The underthrown one was the only one I can remember that was poor throw. And now they hit you with the 1-2, and Iola picks up 8.
You know, and Jaya and Yola is...
Oh my gosh.
You know, yeah, Jaya and Yola is a dude that you can just... I am confident that if they give the ball to Jaya and Yola, like, on every play, probably they will win 6, 8, 7 games in the whole year. Even though you know it's coming. Yeah,
exactly. 111 yards with 5:40 to go, and they give him to him again, and he picks up another 8 or 9. That's ridiculous. He's on pace for an incredible night.
He is, and again, you know, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but the offensive line of Tallahassee is just both offensive line and defensive line lines here in the second quarter have been completely unbelievable, and you know, the Tulsa defensive line is not bad at all. I mean, they have Red Sawyer out there. It's a very talented pass rusher, run stuffing defensive tackle, and he's just getting blocked.
And Yola up the middle again, and he is pushed forward for a first down to the 37. And we're going to have to keep an eye on Jaya and Yola's numbers throughout the night.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it seems that he's not getting even touched, like, after 6 or 7 yards past the line of scrimmage. And it seems that, you know, when Tulsa's expecting probably a run to the left, the Tallahassee Pride is just audibly to the right or something like that, because they just don't seem to be on the spot a lot of the time.
Now a throw. Christensen, the out route to Gossett, drag the feet, pick up 5 to the 33. Sometimes it just looks easy.
It does, and I'm not sure if they were now keying on one, but they just left number 84 Ken Gossett completely wide open on the far side of the field. I mean, it was, if Ken Gossett can, you know, probably stop on a dime and try to get a first down, not only he gets the first down, but maybe about 5-10 more yards after that.
2 receivers split out, 2 in the backfield. Tulsa has a lot of men in the box, definitely to account for Jaya and Yola. 4-3 look out of them. And now pressure, and Christensen is dropped. You harped on the offensive line, but Rhett Sawyer just made him look silly there.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's about time for the big uglies here of Tulsa to start to put in the pressure. Rhett Sawyer with with his first sack of the day, and I'm not expecting this for him to be the last.
Marcus Dunhill went back and fact-checked us and said, well, we'll get to it after this play, as Christensen fires and it's incomplete. He said the last team to beat Tallahassee at home was Atlanta in the Season 9 playoffs, 38-13, and we only were talking regular season there, Marcus. But you are correct. that Tallahassee has lost at home in the playoffs. What they also lost in the championship last season, and that's another thing we talked about, Ramos, was Tallahassee, for all the wins that they've had in the regular season, have struggled in the playoffs. And to give them their credit, they did play very well in the playoffs last season until it came to the final game, and you just have to think that eventually this team is going to break through and win some major games in those playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's bound to happen. Oh, man, look at that punt.
Nice coverage. Down to the 4. Tulsa will be backed up.
Wow, everything is going the Tallahassee Pride's way. That punt was incredible. It bounces at the 3-yard line, then it bounces at the 1, and then it bounces back.
Yeah, nice.
But that wasn't that. That was, yeah, and special teams can be just a huge part of a football game, especially in close games like this one.
From the 4, 1st and 10 for the Tulsa Desperados. A lot of room to the bottom of the screen. Now a shift from Tallahassee opens it up even more, and that's the way that Tulsa's going to run. And the defensive linebackers have just been a little bit more quick to that outside than the blockers for Tulsa have been.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2nd and 11 here, and this is where Kevin Bain and those guys like to eat, because it could get to passing situation here, maybe this play or the next play, and watch out for that pass rush.
Robinson picks up 2 more, gives him a little bit of breathing room to make a throwing attempt maybe. Here it'll be 3rd and 8, but the game's still close. You might want to just consider getting the best punt that you can and maybe running a few more yards to keep your punter out of the end zone.
I will agree with you. I think that you cannot force a sack and a safety. Oh, well, that's almost a safety.
Yeah, it was
close.
The Tallahassee line came in. E.J. DeQ lays the wood on Sanzo Robinson. And my goodness, Ramos, if I'm Frank Gooden, I'm considering throwing the red hanky.
Yeah, that was not the wood. That was the whole tree. It's like, man, like, woo. That was almost a sack. I mean, that was like a 3-yard loss. That's essentially almost a sack.
That's essentially a sack, yeah. And now great field position for Tallahassee. You know what? Forget it. Try the field goal. Why even run a play from here? You pretty much could. From the 34, it would be and we'll just do this for giggles, but it would be a 52-yard field goal if they didn't gain a yard from right here. If only they had a star kicker, eh, Ramos?
Yep. Yeah, that's my motto.
If only. 3-4 look out of the Desperados. Yeah, they do. Eniola up the middle, gains 6. Well, you say they matter. I mean, you talk about it. Tulsa could have a 10-10 game here if they had a star kicker.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was kind of a, to a degree, it was kind of a chip shot on that one, like
Right.
Left hash, right footed kick. It was kind of like right there, and it just didn't happen.
2-minute warning. It's 10-7. Tallahassee on top of Tulsa, but the Pride are looking to put more points on the board before the halftime break. CSFL Network on Twitch, brought to you by APM Music. Andy Hamilton, Ramos Lynn with you here on this Sunday night, enjoying some great football. 4 down linemen for Tulsa. They're only down by 3. The Pride, though, are knocking on the door. Not yet in the red zone, but definitely in field goal range. Handoff Eniola off the left-hand side, plows through 2, and finally gets brought down at the 25. Tulsa has had trouble with him all night.
Yep. It's and pretty much every team has trouble again. Eniola, it's a guy that just destroys defender. He eats them for lunch. It's kind of crazy.
Yep.
How he does it so easily. I mean, it's not like he's putting some effort. Sometimes it looks like.
Yep, definitely. They'll give to him again, and this time he's dropped in the backfield. Tulsa's defensive line coming up big and making a play. Nice job by them. Will force a 4th and 3, and out comes the field goal unit. And I think that's a win for Tulsa's defense, considering where the Pride started the drive.
Yeah, I agree with you. And when you can get some points, that's a field position type of game that we're watching. It's just a punt the ball, pin them deep. It is not to force a safety. If you get it, awesome. But it's basically to play the field position battle and get the tough points that are not gonna come easy.
Yep. taking all the time off this clock. Field goal attempt is up. And it is no good. He pushed it right as well.
Wow.
I don't know if there's any wind as a factor. I'll have to take a check on our weather report before the game. Our booth is boxed in, so I can't tell if the weather has changed since the last time we were out. But that field goal is no good, and it's a great break for Tulsa.
Wow. I mean, that's the break Tulsa needed. Now, 46 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Not terrible field position. Let's see if Tulsa can return the favor, maybe get a big play on and attempt another field goal on their own and, go to halftime tied.
Handoff, Robinson off the right-hand side with room. Robinson, a first down run. And I was looking, Ramos, in the SFL media guide as Tulsa takes a timeout. Sanzo Robinson, number 5 in all-time yards per game, 344 yards when the Baltimore Crabs took on the Cleveland, I believe it was either the Stallions or the Vipers at that point on August 6th, 2017. So Robinson, a good back, definitely one to look out for tonight going up against Jaya Aniola.
I agree with him. This is empty set. Let's see if, what they do. I mean, it's... I'm not even sure.
They're looking to throw. Martin under immediate pressure, and he is dropped. And this spells danger for Tulsa as they are going to go hurry up in the same formation. Under 30 seconds to go here in the second. Martin, a 7-step drop, gets rid of it, and it is caught across the middle. Andre Godspeed to the 45, and they're going to hold their timeouts.
Wow, what a play. What a throw on his back foot. Unbelievable.
Throwing again. 5-step drop. Check down there. Another completion to the 41.
Oh, man, you have to
Still
call
no
timeout.
timeouts. Yeah, I agree. I think you got to take one, but who knows? Maybe a shot here. Martin to throw. This will be the last play of the half, and it's just a check down. A nice completion there. Pad the stats to the 34. And that will be the first half of play. 10-7, 2 missed field goals in the first half of play. Winds are only 6 miles per hour east-northeast.
Yep. Yeah, and that was just bad clock management for Tulsa. I think that drive had, 3 points potential.
Definitely.
Unfortunate for them.
Definitely. 10-7 is the score at the halftime break. We'll be back on the SFL Network, brought to you by APM Music Live on Twitch. Back here at the Lions Den in Tallahassee, Florida. We want to thank the sponsors of the SFL. APM Music, our title sponsor, Richards Printworks, as well as Show Business Studios, Spy Goat, and all the other sponsors that help the SFL do what we need. We want to make sure that you guys get a hold of them and use them for all of your needs. So head over to simulationfl.net and follow the links to their pages. Well, it's Tallahassee ball as they get a nice return out of Trevor Swain to the 28. Ramos, we're going to take a look at the playoff picture. Again, looking here, Tallahassee sits at 9-0 in an automatic qualifier spot. They will not fall lower than 6th no matter what happens in this game. However, Tulsa, as you see, is in the hunt. If they lose tonight's game, they will be out of playoff contention. So for Tallahassee, the opportunity to clinch the number 2 seed as well as knock Tulsa out. Tulsa, on the other hand, is fighting for their life. Christensen on first down will fire down the middle. It's batted away. Tulsa all over that one. So Tulsa definitely would like a stop after this break.
Yeah, and going back to the playoff picture, I mean, congratulations to Tallahassee for the automatic, qualifier, not dropping lower than 9-3. Another incredible season, regardless of what happens. And as far as Tulsa goes, they have shown a lot of heart this game. They were obviously the underdogs away from home against the very best home team probably in SFL history, including the Louisville Wolfpack. So, not an easy task, but
Jaye and Yola left side, and Yola 50, 40, no one's going to catch him, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, put it on the board, as Michael Turillo would say, touchdown, Tallahassee Pride.
Wow. And again, it goes back to the offensive line. Jaye and Yola he's a beast. I mean, he's just a pleasure to watch. But look at the guard right there. Pulls to the left. Look at the blocks. He's not touched. It's not like, in some plays we've seen he breaks 3 tackles. He did not get touched on this play. Yeah, and it's a simple concept. It's not like, it's a crazy type of run. It's just a very easy power concept, and he just takes it the distance completely clean.
Definitely a huge run from Jaye and Yola. At the half, I was looking at his numbers, and he had 135 yards at the break. I don't remember where they started that drive from, but that was at least a 60-yard run there. So he is closing in on 200, and we have not even broken 10 minutes in the third quarter.
Wow. I mean, that's all I have to say. Wow. I mean, how many times has Christian thrown the ball? Sorry. Like, not many. I mean, it's not been like Christensen of last year, just like throwing the ball all over the yard. It's basically been Jaye and Yola leading the show, and just, it's very, very impressive.
Yeah, and Christensen's playing second fiddle almost. Has an interception today. So, in reality, if Tulsa were able to lock down Eniola, this would be an entirely different game. But the question now will be, can the Desperados answer? Matthew Martin will lead the offense back out onto the field. Lucky they had a long halftime break, because otherwise they would be right back out on the field. The one or two play drive from Tallahassee sets up the Desperados now down by 10. They left the field last time, and we talked about maybe left some points on the board. But now they will face this 10-point deficit with 10:35 to go in the third. All day for Martin, now pressured, shakes off one, still under pressure, throws. Oh my gosh, he found a man on the outside to the 44. Wow. Unbelievable scenes. Andre Godspeed hauls it in.
Wow, that's the best play I've seen Michael Martin, like, not only this game, like, in a long time. I mean, that's... Not only he eludes the sack, but he throws a really good ball to the open guy for a first down. I mean, it was not like the check down for a 2-yard gain. It was a first down, and this could be pivotal for Tulsa because this keeps the drive alive.
Eric JDWA 300 bits. Thank you for those as they give to Robinson, and he goes backwards. I was gonna say, Ramos, the last time I think I called a game when a quarterback had that much time, I believe it was the Santa Fe Gorillas and the Sioux Falls Sparrows when Matt Wilson went out to get a martini in the middle of the play because he had so much time from his offensive line.
Yeah, and again, what I say is that if you have a good offensive line, it's hard to be bad, and I almost intercepted right there. But if you have a good offensive line here in the SFL, I mean, the running backs are really good here in the SFL. So if the offensive line does a good block, that's the difference between a 2-yard gain and an 80-yard scamper here in the SFL. Yep. And if the quarterback has one more second to throw, that's, Ken Gossett running a deep post route, over the top for a touchdown. So, and they've been so good for so many seasons now.
4 receivers split out, 3rd and a mile. Martin fires, got his man down to the 40, or the 35, excuse me. Steven Bush, the first time we've called his name tonight, comes up in the clutch.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's basically a dose of Tallahassee's medicine, because we've seen in the past here in this game, Ken Gossett or Willis going that same kind of route.
Yep.
To convert on a long yardage situation. So it's basically let's try that against them.
Certainly. They give to Robinson up the middle. Some good yardage there, picking up 5. And we got a couple. Yadonsha just gave us, that's Shan, just subscribe with Twitch Prime. If any of you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe with that. Always a good thing to be able to follow the league. It benefits the league, especially now in our partnership. 2 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver to the top of the screen. They give to Robinson on the bottom. Robinson with room, a good block like you were talking about, Ramos, and Robinson's down to the 14. A strong run from him. He's not killing the yardage, and when you compare these two like they are, it looks worse because he's only got 75 yards. But really, 4.2 is a good average.
It's a very good average, especially when you have a defensive line in Tallahassee where they're famous of blowing plays behind the line of scrimmage. For a few seasons, they have not had a lot of talent on the linebacking core, but it's been the defensive line just getting in the backfield, just stopping the running back before he even gets to the line of scrimmage.
3 spread out. Martin to throw from the 14, will deliver it. Godspeed on the left side, breaks 1 tackle, but steps out of bounds at the 5, and Tulsa's looking dangerous on this drive.
They really are, and that's a good play call on that one, because the field shrinks when you get to this situation. So it's basically trying to get some tough yards, and a big 8-yard play on this one, put the ball at the 5-yard line. And last time we saw Tulsa in this situation, they were able to run it in with King Jack Washington.
Martin will change something at the line, doesn't like what he sees, makes an audible move. 5 men in the box, or on the line for Tallahassee. Martin dumps it out to Robinson, can't gate the feet. They'll lose 2 yards on that one. It'll be 3rd and 4 as Shan will give us 350 bits.
Thank you for that. And a 3rd and 4 here, with the ball at the 7-yard line. This is wide receiver. Need to make a big play. They have everything spread out wide. Even Robinson. I mean, Robinson played, as you were mentioning, it's a wide receiver. So
yeah, almost a Le'Veon Bell type.
Yeah, exactly.
They will throw. Martin dumps across the middle. That is a 1st down gain, not to the end zone, but a 1st down nonetheless. Matthew Martin has looked I was going to say inseparable, but incredible on 3rd down on this drive.
Yeah, and with this situation, I mean, we look at Tallahassee. They do not have a goal line packet. I mean, it's basically their base defense. Yeah. You run it up the gut here, I think it's an easy touchdown.
They will try that. Robinson does get stopped as they angled out to the right-hand side, but you said it, Ramos. They could have thrown a screen to the receiver over there and had a touchdown.
Yeah, probably, yes. I think, if you have... I mean, why not? I mean, Sonson Robinson has been on the field. Look, there's King Jack Washington. I was going to just mention it. Is he?
If he,
yeah.
No, that's Robinson.
No, that's Robinson. You could potentially put in Washington, fresh legs, and just punch it in.
They will dump off to Robinson, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Tulsa. They strike again, and now they will cut that lead. And boy, is this one getting interesting. No, that is King Jack Washington. No, it is Robinson. He's wearing 20.
Yeah, it's Robinson on that one, and a one-handed catch. He's a receiver. I mean, you're kind of expecting for him to, a former receiver, you're kind of expecting him to be able to still have those hands, obviously. He was moved from receiver to running back just for this season.
Well, and Eric GDWA says, no easy touchdowns, and I would beg to disagree because that looked pretty easy. I think I probably couldn't have hauled in the one-hander, Ramos, but I think I would have been able to collect myself enough to catch that and fall into the end zone.
I agree, and this this is the drive that Tulsa needed.
Definitely.
You put this in a 3-point game. You still have, 1.5 quarters, so it's a lot of time. So now, if your defense can make a stop here and force a punt, I mean, you're in a prime situation to take the lead.
And it'll come down to whether they can stop Jaye and Yola. The kick is away, so we'll see where Tallahassee will set up. The return will come out across the 25-yard line. Ooh, a flag is thrown. I don't think it was on that hit. It was a vicious hit, but it looks maybe in the area of a holding or clipping.
Holding, number 30, receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
And there you go, an offensive holding on the return team, and Tulsa obviously will accept that one. Any free yardage is good yardage, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, now with the ball at the 17-yard line, this is the situation for Tulsa where, they can get a stop here and get good field position. I mean, we've seen the kickers having a bad night, but if you can get good field position, you could potentially tie the game with the next drive.
Aniola off the right-hand side has some room. Down to the 40. Does he have the legs to beat him? No. He'll get brought down at the 49, but still an incredible run as Jaye Aniola is up to 240 yards in the third quarter.
Look at the offensive line again. I mean, sorry, I'm saying the same thing over again, but I'm just in awe of the incredible job collectively that this team is doing. Number 78 pulls to the right to block somebody, and the right side of the offensive line does such a terrific job. There's not even anybody to block, and Jaye Aniola has the entire field open for him.
4 receivers split out, and they will give to Aniola in the backfield. He has stood up. Rhett Sawyer read that one like a magazine in the bathroom because you're bored.
that was a good one.
All right.
That was a good. I like that one.
Okay. 2nd and 11 from midfield.
This is the situation. 2nd and long.
Yep.
Rhett Sawyer, he needs to get going.
They give to Aniola on the delayed handoff. Tulsa does a good job of shutting that one down. It looks like they didn't quite read it, but Espen Rayal was able to get over there and make the tackle. So now it'll be 3rd and 8, and you talked about it. This is the situation Tulsa needs the stop in.
They do. 3rd and 8. This is the opportunity where you have to think they will go with Ken Gossett. They have Willis on a very good receiver, but Ken Gossett has been today the clutch guy, so I'm putting a safety over Ken Gossett, at least on this play.
5 minutes to go in the third. Christensen drops to throw, wants it on the right-hand side. Corner out.
Wow!
Oh! He had a touchdown, and Grayson Willis couldn't haul it in.
Wow, that's the most bizarre kind of play we've seen all night. I mean, he was so open, he felt he was triple covered. I'm not sure how can I explain it, but it happens sometimes where you're just so wide open that you just completely lose concentration, and I think that's exactly what happened.
Oh, and for Tulsa, that is the break of the night. Now down by 3. The offense was clicking on the last drive. Ooh, nearly a blocked punt. They're going to have an opportunity here to take the lead. Charles Ball, will take it to the 14. That is where the offense will start out. Matthew Martin was a 3rd down monster last drive.
With the 1st down at the ball at the 14-yard line, this is a tall order here. I mean, again, quarter and a half to go, so there, time is just not a problem right now. But if Tulsa can do what they have done pretty much all night long, which is move the ball pretty consistently, this could get. I mean, this is very interesting, but this could get even more interesting.
Robinson on 1st down will pick up 4 to the 18. Not a bad 1st down play.
And with a 2nd and 6, this is a play that I like for, they put the ball into Sansa Robinson's hands, get some positive yardage, and with 2nd and 6, you can run the ball again if you want, and if you still have a 3rd down, you can throw the ball afterwards.
Oh, ball's on the ground. Tallahassee picks it up. Oh, Sansa Robinson fumbles, and the Tallahassee Pride recover.
Wow, and Kevin Bain, I'm pretty sure that was Kevin Bain forcing that fumble. We will take a look at the play. I was not able to see it. Yeah, it was Kevin. Look at that. Man, he put him on the... Wow. That's the hit of the game. Look at that. And the Tallahassee defense, super opportunistic right there. The corner, I think it was a corner, really aware of the play and just getting that one for his offense.
That might be I think that's the first turnover for Tulsa tonight, and it is in a poor position as Tallahassee will look to take advantage. 5 receivers split out. Christensen alone in the shotgun. Tulsa brings 4. Christensen fires. Back corner of the end zone. Nearly had it taken away from him. Kanye Rockefeller was on that one like a book is on a shelf. Yeah, again, it's been a little bit of missed opportunities all game long for both teams. I mean, the missed field goals and dropped interceptions and so on, but that was a prime position here for Tulsa to get the stop of the night. Now they have to play strong here in second down. I'm expecting probably another Christensen throw here. And if they can hold them to 3, it'll still be a really good defensive drive. Christensen checks down to Eniola off the right-hand side. He will plow through 1, not through the second. So 3rd and 5, if you can hold him here and force him into a field goal. Wow, look at those numbers for Christensen. Not what we expected coming into tonight's game.
Yeah, I agree. And it's incredible when you have a quarterback throwing for less than 3 quarters in and still have 17 points and the lead. And it's, I don't want to use the term game manager, but definitely Christensen has taken a back seat to Jaya Eniola for the entire season.
4 receivers split out. Christensen throws near side, caught, and Ken Gossett gets the first down, but does not get further than that, stepping out of bounds at the 3.
That was the perfect play call. I mean, that's all I can say. Just enough for the first down, throwing the ball to the open guy, to your number 1 target. That was the perfect play call for that situation. And I think that you have to ride or die here with Yaya Eniola.
Handoff, Eniola up the middle, and he's in. Tallahassee puts the ball over the line and into the paint. Jaya Eniola picks up more yards and another touchdown as Tallahassee extends their lead now to 23.
That's your man right there. It's Yaya Eniola. Just he deserves it. He basically has carried this team all game long. This is not obviously a shot to Christensen or the defense or the wide receivers, but it's obvious that Yaya Eniola is the motor of this team, and he's been just lights out all night long.
Yep, definitely has been Jaya's night, and we are not done. Still lots of game left as they kick now. 3:24 left in the 3rd quarter of play. Tulsa down by 10, but not out by any regards. Last drive for them ended in a fumble from Sanzo Robinson, if you're just tuning in. But man, were they cooking on the drive before that. If they can get that back, this is going to be a real interesting finish to this game.
Yes, it was still, 3 minutes and change in here in the 3rd quarter. And what your offense doing, what your offense has done pretty much all game long. It's no time to panic, obviously. It's just basically do what you have done all game long. Run the ball with Sansa Robinson, that has worked. Put the ball into Michael Martin's hands to, throw it short, that has worked. And I think that, this is far from over, obviously, and then Tulsa, it's closer than the score might indicate.
Definitely, and we still have a long way to go to get through this game. 3 receivers split out for Martin. They give to Robinson. Robinson will not be able to fight through the first 2 tackles. He'll only pick up 2 as he is working on 80 yards.
Alex Bond, one of the best tackling safeties here in the SFL. Last season, they had no people on their linebacking core. So if the running back got past the line of scrimmage, it was basically Alex Bond's job to make the stop at the 3rd level. One of the best tacklers that we have in the defensive backfield here in the SFL.
Martin checked down here to Robinson out of the backfield, and the first tackle hits home. And Tallahassee now forces the Desperados into 3rd and 10, and we're teetering on the edge of a bad situation for the Desperados, being up against potentially being out of the playoff race.
Now, with the empty set, 3rd and 10, what they've done out of this formation is basically the post route. Let's see if Tallahassee's ready for it.
Martin to throw, low snap, moves in the pocket under immediate pressure, and the Pride get to him. Taekwon Hale was the first one there, and the Pride have a sack to force 4th and 18.
Now, Taekwon Hale, I think he is the premier pass rusher team. I think I look at this, that Taekwon Hale is the premier pass rusher. Obviously, you have Kevin Bain and you have the Q, those guys, but I've always seen this guy as the number 1 dude to rush the passer, and in the clutch situation, 3rd down, and obvious passing situation, he just rises to the occasion.
Well, and Frank Gooden has really been the epitome of a defensive line coach in the SFL. If any team should be known as pass rush it's Tallahassee, especially when you think about not only the line that they have now and what they've done, but also, they used to have Mike Fats Johnson, the guy who's doing big things for Las Vegas. So while the big man in Alaska gets all the credit for the fancy stats, I think Frank might be the better overall defensive line coach.
Yeah, I will have to agree on that. I think it's going to be the Yaya and Yola show even more than before for the rest of this 3rd quarter, just to take it to the 4th. And, with a 2-possession game, I think it's going to be a situation where Tallahassee has good field position and they just can ride with Yaya and Yola, get into scoring position, and try to pull away.
Well, this is the key. I talked to Cameron Irvine at the SFL convention. We talked about the 300-yard running backs all time because it is in the media guide, and obviously Jaya and Yola is, if he could break a run from here into the end zone as he's breaking off to the right side, Jaya and Yola, I didn't call it, I called it, down to the 15, 10, 5, and he is in for his 3rd touchdown of the day. Oh my gosh, Ramos, can you believe it?
Man, I don't blame the Tallahassee defense. I don't blame the total. Blame Yaya. I think that Destra is overhexing the running back. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. I mean, in a span of like 2 yards, he puts 2 defenders on the ground. Like it's nothing.
Wow.
And then the speed. I mean, it's not only the power, it's speed. I mean, it's because when you have a running back that is this powerful, he's not supposed to have the wheels like he has.
Yeah, talk about a commentator's curse, Ramos. I was in the middle of a sentence about him breaking a runoff to the end zone, and he does so. Someone clip that. That's a good SFL clip for all of eternity. But I was talking to Cameron Irvine at the convention because when we talked about with the media guide how running backs get over 300 yards, the conversation was it's close games. It's not games where the team's blowing them out, because by the time they start blowing them out, they put in the backup running backs. It's games where it's close. So if Tulsa could have, got a stop and got back in the game, and Yola really would have been, at a potential to break off a few big runs and get into that 300-yard zone. So, it's possible that he, is getting close to that. I think last time he was at 240, and that run there was over 40 yards at least, so he could be closer to 290 right now, and we don't have a stats man for this game, so join the stats team if you need a job in the SFL, because that would have been handy for this game. But he's definitely close to putting himself on that list. Currently there's, I believe, 21 SFL running backs who've had over 300-yard games since Robert Redford had one in week 1 of the season. I had the pleasure of calling that game with, I believe, Shan Varner. So now, it'll be interesting to see if he can add his name to that list. And it'll really, I think, depend on whether Tulsa can get back in this game.
I will have to agree, and I think that's a possibility because, as we get pressure, because I think it's a possibility because already Tallahassee has the lead. So especially if they get a stop, it's gonna be about Yaya and Yola just taking this to the end of the game. I mean, there's not a need to throw the ball, get an intercepted, or something like that.
Yep.
So So if they can retain this lead of 17 points for the fourth quarter and by the middle portion of the fourth quarter, it's gonna be Jai and Yola from there for the rest of the game.
Two backs in the backfield, one receiver to the top of the screen, the hand of Robinson. Robinson is stood up and dropped by the first man on the scene. Matthew Sprouse does a good job. These Sprouse brothers on the outside are looking like the sweet life of Zach and Cody. They're making it so easy to call when a cornerback makes the tackle.
Yeah, I will agree with you. I mean, they still need to take one more play before the third quarter is over. So, they have to throw the ball on this play before time.
Martin throws on 3rd and 8. Oh, he overthrew the receiver. He had a man down the field, and Andre Godspeed did not have the hands to elevate and make the grab.
Wow, that is just, And again, goes back to the missed opportunities. He was wide open. I mean, he needs to put that ball where it needs to be, because that's not only a catch, that's probably like a 50-yard gain. And it's been that situation for Tulsa this game. A dropped interception in the end zone, a missed field goal, a couple of overthrows. So it's been that kind of game where they are in this one, and they have been playing pretty good, but a few plays here and there have been what's holding them back.
Definitely. I think that missed field goal really started things off on an interesting foot. They bounced back quite a bit from that, but I don't know if they've ever fully recovered from starting, down when they should have started up.
Yep. So again, it's gonna be Yaya and Yola from here.
So we'll see how long they leave him in the game. Still a whole quarter to play. They give to him again, and right up the middle, he's got 9.5 yards to the 46. He is a monster.
He is a monster indeed, and we get to the fourth quarter, and let's see if Tulsa can make a big play.
Heading to the fourth, it's 31-14, Tallahassee on top of the Desperados as their playoff hopes are dwindling. Still plenty of time left, though. Andy Hamilton, Ramos, Lynn, we'll look at the playoff picture just shortly here. Tulsa needs the win here. They are at 4-6 if they want to stay alive. 4-7 will not do it. The only way to get in is to only have 6 losses. So really they're in, kind of their last-ditch effort. They need to stop here soon, and they need to start getting back into this game as Eniola picks up the first down to the 49.
Injured guy, and that's not good for especially when you want to stop the run. To have your starting linebacker out, not good.
Well, and it also doesn't look good considering the type of hits Eniola has been putting on these guys. He might be, in the playoff, or the police report later tonight for assault.
I'm not sure what happened on that one. Probably a helmet-to-helmet hit. I mean, I'm not sure if he was concussed on that one. Probably.
We will definitely keep an eye, yeah. Handoff Eniola again, and he just continues to have a night. Jai Eniola across the 34, and man, oh man, they are going to have to call someone because he has some type of nitros in his system. He is just running all over this defense.
He truly is, and if it wasn't for Murray, as you're saying, I mean, this is another touchdown. And wow, I mean, it's Yaya Eniola, started the game pretty good, but since about, halfway through the third quarter, it's been just an unstoppable force.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 34. 10.5 minutes still to go here in the fourth. They will give to Eniola again. This time he is shut down at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
They cannot, Tulsa, they cannot allow any more yards. I mean, with a field goal, it will still be a 3-possession game, but now you will need 3 touchdowns instead of getting probably 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So just Tallahassee on the edge of field goal range, they need to make a stop here. Tulsa does.
Handoff, Eniola picks up another 2 yards. We are subtly on the Jai Eniola 300-yard watch party list. I have the list. There's 21 running backs who have ran for over 300 yards in an SFL game. The last one to do it was Robert Redford in Week 1 against the San Francisco Sharks. He slots in at 17th when he ran for 311 yards. We're not sure exactly what Eniola is at because we do not have a stats man for this game. Christensen firing, left side, picked off, and that is just the spark that Tulsa would need to get back into this game. Kyler Murray, his second of the night.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about that play call because, again, this might be underthrown again. Yeah, it is. That's the second time that they tried the same exact type of route, and twice in a row, Christensen has been just completely underthrowing his receiver.
And the question will be, are they going to be able to cover, or are they going to be able to put points on the board and get something going here? Robinson off the right side, and there was absolutely nothing going on that play.
You know, and this has been the key for the Tallahassee defense for seasons now is on first down they're just so good on tackling the running back or getting a sack behind the line of scrimmage, obviously. So, you know, to put a team in second and long, third and long is just completely makes it difficult for an offense.
Martin throws a one-handed grab there on the outside. I think that might have been Corey Jones who made that one-handed catch. It is. And Jones will make it 3rd and 4. That's a lot more manageable.
Yeah, we see an update on the linebacker who got hurt. It's a torn bicep, and he's going to be out for the rest of the game. So, you know, the middle of the field is going to be even more weak.
Little man Michael in the chat says, well, we'll get to it after this play, as Robinson gets shut down 4th and 2 with 8:20 to go. I don't know if it's 4 down territory, but you got to consider it here.
I will go for it if I get into a 4th down situation. Unless, obviously, if you're in field goal range and you can kick the field goal. But, you know, it's basically try to get points from here and now. I mean, you with the 3-possession deficit, with just a little bit under 7 minutes, you know, there's time on the clock, but I think this is going to be 4 down for the rest of the way.
They will punt, and Tallahassee will take over at the 48. Little man Michael in the chat says that Jaye Eniola is at 335 yards. We're not 100% sure if that is accurate. He said it was on the screen. I would have missed it, which I can't speak to whether that's accurate or not. But if it was accurate, that would slot him in at number 10 all-time in single-game performance. And obviously, we still have quite a bit of time to go here in the 4th quarter, so that will be something to keep the eye on as they hand to him off the right side, and there is another 2 yards for Jaye Eniola to midfield. He's averaging 11 yards per carry.
Yeah, to have an average of 11 yards per carry is just crazy. I mean, I get it if you got in the first 3 runs, because, you know, it could go like 3 out of, you know, for 33 yards when you got like a 28 yards camper. But to have at least, I will say, 25 carries or so, 25 carries, and to have still 11 yards per carry is incredible.
Christensen to throw here from midfield. Fires deep down the field. It's almost taken away again. Kanye Rockefeller was all over that one, and Christensen has not looked anything short of average tonight.
I agree with you, and if you're going to throw the I think that just needs to throw the ball as if there were runs. I mean, kind of dink and dunk, because, you know, there's no need to put the ball in harm's way when you have a 2nd and 3. Sorry, 2nd and 8.
Shotgun again from midfield on 3rd and 8. Christensen fires an out route there. Caught. Out of bounds goes Ken Gossett to the 44. It'll be 4th and 2, and you got to wonder maybe if Christensen's padding those personal numbers a little bit.
Probably, yes. And I like the play call. I think it was just unable to turn the corner and get a 1st down. So I like the play call, and I like the throw by Christensen. It just didn't work that time. But I think that was the play that they should have done on 2nd down, because it would have been a 3rd and 2, and, you know, the playbook opens up, and you know, but, you know, they still have to punt, and the punter just got a huge punt earlier in the game. So let's see if he does it again.
All right, it'll bounce at the 3, and it is brought back into the end zone for a touchback. And you got to wonder, maybe Frank doesn't want Jaye Eniola to use all of his gas here this week, and maybe he decided Christensen needs some help.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, you're right. I mean, I completely see that happening where you have a point lead. You know, Jai and Yola already did his job, so it's just basically getting more reps this season for your quarterback and wide receivers.
They will give to Robinson on the right-hand side, and he is dropped, and it almost might be time to abandon that strategy, Ramos, and just start throwing the ball here, considering how much you're down by with your playoff chance on the line.
I will go ahead and agree with you because you're not in a good field position right now. If you were like at the 40-yard line, I will get it, but you're behind your own 20-yard line, so it has to be passing situation pretty much for the rest of the game.
Time continues to roll as Martin will drop to throw. Throws there on an out route. That is a completion to Corey Jones, who gets his way to the 29, 1 yard shy, and I almost would be going hurry up here.
Me too, especially when it seems that you have a good formation. So, I mean, if they were in the power set, probably it's a good call to do the to do the huddle, but on that type of situation, I think that a no huddle would have been a good idea.
Handoff, Robinson left side, got the first down with relative ease to the 35, and they look content to slowly get to the line, and they might be calling for Uncle here.
You know, I mean, they need to hurry up. I mean, that was a good first down, but now with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left, you have to think. I mean, we need to score before, I will say, we hit the 4-minute marker.
Definitely. So they're down by 17 here late in this contest. Delayed handoff to Robinson. Spin move. Robinson, he was 1 or 2 tackles broken away from a touchdown. He had a man blocking deep down the field, but was unable to break that and shake that last tackle.
With the ball at the 43-yard line, 2nd and 1. The clock still is ticking. That's the problem right now for Tulsa. They have been able to move the ball just like they've done pretty much all game long, but time is just running out on them.
Now going into a passing mode. That incompletion will make it 3rd and 1 from the 43. It was a nice play design, just a poor throw with the decision, and now they'll face this 3rd and short.
They need to give here Michael Martin some time to throw the ball. This is exactly where, even though it's a 3rd and very short, I think they will throw on this one.
Martin to throw, 7-step drop, checks down, Godspeed, gets out of bounds. Nice play there. Just pick up the first down and stop the clock.
That was a good play. I mean, gets you the first down. Just step out of bounds, so we will stop the clock just momentarily. It will get going again here, but it does stop the clock at least. Well, it did stop the clock completely because we are under 5 minutes. So a good play to get the first down, keep the drive moving, and save time.
Definitely. 3 receivers split out for Martin. Deep drop under pressure. Hale whiffs on the tackle. Thrown back across his body. He hauls it in. He was out of bounds. Matthew Martin, did he do that earlier in the game? And I just thought it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. He tried a little bit of a Matt Wilson spin there, and the receiver couldn't keep the feet in bounds. And we're going to challenge it.
I think that's a catch.
Well, I'm excited about this just because we get to see the replay here on the challenge. Let's see here. All right, Hale, there's a whiff. We talked about how great he is. Well, he whiffed on that play, and then you throw a wobbler off. Oh, no, he looks out to me.
He does? I mean,
Ramos says he's it. All right, we'll see. You and me go way back on the out-of-bounds plays. They're going to call him inbounds. Tulsa gets the play overturned. Unbelievable.
I mean, it's low-key an important play. It's not a huge touchdown play, but
right.
That could have been a sack for like a 10-yard loss, and that ended up being a 6-yard gain and stops the clock. So, hey, I mean, it's an important play here in the game. It could be.
2 receivers split out. 4-3 look out of Tallahassee. 4:39 to go on 2nd and 4. Martin will throw. Matthew Martin checks down to Sanzo Robinson with a little bit of room in front of him. Takes a spin. Gets to the 46. It'll be 3rd and 3. And now Tulsa will go into hurry-up mode, down by 17. Martin, deep drop. Pressured immediately. Has to check down to Robinson. He's not going to get there. And I think now you're in 4-down territory. You got to go for this.
Yeah, you got to go for this. I mean, it's a 3-possession game. So you have to go for this one. I don't know. And they go empty set. So obviously pass.
5 receivers split out, 4 down linemen for the Pride. They're going to bring all 4 of them. Martin stands in the pocket, delivers on the right side, caught down the right sideline. Going all the way down to the 7 is Steven Bush. What a grab here, and it reignites the Desperados' comeback chances.
What a clutch throw, and what a reception by Tulsa here.
Martin moves in the pocket, throws as he's hit. Back of the end zone. Oh, it's picked off. Tallahassee takes it away. Alex Bond. And one clutch play is followed up by a clutch pressure from the defensive line of Tallahassee, and it forces an errant throw from Michael Martin.
The pressure came into this, and Alex Bond was just ahead of the receiver, looking at his eyes. The field ran out on him, so obviously Alex Bond just turned around to find the football. He did, and I think that's game.
The name was Bond, Alex Bond, and he took it away. Jaya Anyola is still on the field. We are monitoring his numbers as we believe he is close to being over 300, and if he is, he will be the 22nd back in SFL history to go over 300 yards. They give to him off the right side, and he picks up another 5 yards there to the 25, and boy, he looks like he still has a lot of life in him.
It definitely does. It definitely does, and I'm not sure. I think you have to pull him out. I mean, you want to pad some stats, but I think that you have to save your running back for the rest of the season. So yeah, I mean, I in my opinion, I will honestly just pull him out of the game and just put the backups in.
Yeah, and maybe it's something where they get another first down and then they pull him out, once the clock, you got another minute or 2 off the clock. They're going to waste this clock down as much as they can to give Daniola up the middle. There is the first down to the 32, and we'll see if he comes out. 352 yards. There it is. That's what we were waiting for. That will put him at number 5 all-time. He sits behind Pete Bruschi, who has 381 yards. Richard Snowden with 371. And Darnell Black is at the top of that list with 424 yards. We actually saw Black in the Houston game earlier today, now relegated to a non-contract role, but did get some carries against Oklahoma City earlier today.
Yep, I agree with you. It's going to be... Sorry, take it.
No, you're good. Aniola loses a yard there. He's still in the game, so I don't know whether they were taking him to the 2-minute warning now or whether Frank Gooden has an eye on this list in his SFL media guide and is trying to beat it. Either way, 31-14, Tallahassee on top of Tulsa here at the Lions Den. The Pride are looking to seal this thing off and end Tulsa's playoff hopes. The SFL Network on Twitch, brought to you by APM Music. Andy Hamilton along with Ramos Lynn here. It's 2nd and 11, and the backup is in. The backups, are in for Tallahassee. So I think, what did we say? 354 yards. That'll be the final for Jaye Anyola. Will put him 5th all time in SFL running back 300-yard games. Just an incredible performance.
Yeah, an incredible performance, and this is what great players do. I mean, this is a game where it's the primetime game here, Sunday night, and he always makes incredible plays in this type of situations.
And now Tulsa is going to get some stats padded on the defensive side. They get a sack. They will take their 2nd timeout there, and they should be getting the ball back here. Rhett Sawyer will get the sack. So a nice job by Tulsa. Maybe playing for some pride. They do still have the opportunity.
I see what you do there.
Yeah, they do still have the opportunity in the coming weeks to maybe put some teams out of the playoffs. I'll have to take a look at their upcoming schedule, but still a lot of season left for them and stuff they can build on heading into next year.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, it's last season it was a great year for Tulsa, and it's been a lot of times that second season, that second year is kind of a step back. It happened to us, for example. So, again, you just build upon what happened this season and just carry on towards the next with the player progression, with just more scouting, just more experience coaching. I think they will be in a good situation next year.
From the 44, they will have a 1st and 10, down by 17. I guess technically they are not out of this game. We are saying that it's unlikely, but there is a chance, I guess. A score or two quickly after an onside, and maybe you have the opportunity as they check it down here to Robinson, who picks up 7.
Yeah, obviously the hurry up here. I mean, it's, as you say, it's like technically still in play, but they have to go deep, and they have to score pretty much on this play.
From the 49, Martin will throw. Nice dump there into the open field. The middle of the field was just wide open on that play.
Yeah, Tallahassee just playing way back in coverage. Just, they can allow this shorter yardage. I mean, they don't care about those.
Out route there, hauled in and moved upfield by Andre Godspeed to the 28. The former London Knight hauls it in and gets to the 28. So now Tulsa's at least in scoring position. Or so you would assume.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to almost think, do you kick a field goal right here? I mean, it's a 45-yarder.
Down by 17, I don't see why you wouldn't just go ahead and kick it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to score it either way, I mean, just do it right now and get it out of the way.
Martin fires. They're looking to score right now, and they get down to the 6. They will burn their last timeout as Godspeed landed inbounds. So still 61 seconds on the clock. I don't know. They score on this next play, and there's a chance. It's a 10-point difference if they can get this in and get the extra point. Not the craziest thing I think we've ever seen, but it would be close.
Yeah, it will be close. I think that if they score right now, I mean, it's going to be up to the onside kick. Because Tulsa has players, that can go deep. We've seen a couple of deep throws, so they need to score on this play, though.
One in the backfield for Martin. He will throw left side. Caught. Touchdown into the end zone. Corey Jones. Tulsa's not dead yet. They add another 6 points. That'll make it 20-31. Jones, a nice little nifty dance on the sideline. Like to see that.
I mean, he gets another touchdown to his stat sheet, gets in the paint, so why not? But they need to concentrate right now on getting this. It's gonna be the ball game for them.
Well, now we'll get really deep into game theory. Do you go for 2 here? Because in theory,
no.
You're down by another 10. So in theory, if you could go for 2 twice, you could put yourself down by 8 instead of 10. Is that right? Essentially, your field goal would win the game instead of just tying the game after the 2 onsides.
Yeah, I feel you, but at the same time, if you don't, you will be 11 points behind, where you will need 2 touchdowns, or touchdown, and now you are forced to convert for the 2-point conversion and then the field goal. So I think that the extra point was the correct call.
All right, here we go. 10-point difference. The kick is away. It will bounce right into the hands of Tallahassee, and they will take over at the 39. That will pretty much do it. Tulsa most likely will fall to 4-7. Tallahassee will improve to 10-0, and we will now be at the conversation of, is it Tallahassee or Alaska's season to lose in the playoffs? Who is really the favorite heading into this playoff scenario, as Tallahassee will clinch the number 2 spot?
That's a good question. I think that right now Alaska is a complete team, but I would argue that Yaya Endiola is the best player overall out of the 2 teams. And I don't want to obviously disrespect the Alaska Storm. They have a phenomenal quarterback. They have Alex Dominguez, for crying out loud. But it's I don't know. I mean, it's a push.
Sure.
I think it's completely a push. I mean, you cannot. I mean, 10-0 teams. It's just like, I'm gonna go, do an NFL kind of comparison. It's basically in the 2000s, the Colts and the Patriots, where it's basically a push. I mean, either team could win.
Yeah, and to me, I think the performance Christensen put up tonight is not a good sign if you're a Tallahassee Pride fan, considering, the numbers that he has, the 2 picks, no touchdowns, and the yardage that he only was able to get against this Tulsa defense. And maybe their game plan was just simply to take him away, but still, you see the numbers Ron Cochran's putting up, and you said it, when you have a Hall of Fame or a great playing quarterback, it always plays in your factor. So I think it'll be interesting heading forward to see that. A great night for Tallahassee as Jaya Anyola cements his name in the 300-yard rushers. 5th overall all-time, 4 touchdowns for him, undoubtedly the player of this game. Tulsa is eliminated from the playoff conversation. Tallahassee secures the 2nd spot. What a night, Ramos. Thank you for being here with me.
No, thank you very much for pulling this out. You had to call a game before, for you to do a doubleheader. Kudos to you. We had a lot of fun. 2 very good teams. I think the score might not indicate. I know that Yaya and Yo ran all over the place, but I think Tulsa played better than what the score might suggest.
Definitely. Well, it's 31-21, Tallahassee on top at the end of it. The Pride get the W. Tulsa takes the L, and we will see you tomorrow night. More SFL action continues on Monday night. We have a good game there. New Orleans will head to Atlanta. Both of those teams in the hunt, trying to fight their way into a wild card spot. Only one of them can get the win in primetime. Cameron Irvine, Stephen Mullinex will be on that call for the SFL Network. Brought to you by APM Music, Andy Hamilton and Ramos Lynn. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a fun time to play.